Hello and welcome to another Tweet4 Media feature interview. I'm your host, Student Reporter Recado Palmer, and today we are talking about the hurricane season through youth perspectives. We have some youth with us that will share their opinion on the hurricane season after this break.
Life is unpredictable, and when a storm is coming, having a plan can make all the difference.
We need a plan in case of a hurricane. Everyone, let's work together on this.
This is where we go in case if we need to evacuate. This is safe away from flood zones.
I will use this room as our secure space if we have to stay home.
Don't forget to save our local contacts and also our off-island contacts.
Right, and we need to have a plan for our pets too. They can't go to shelters, so we need a safe place for them.
In case we get separated, we should have a meeting spot. How about the community center?
That's good, and we can leave a note there too.
I feel safe knowing we have a plan.
With a plan, you're not just preparing for the worst, you're taking control of the situation. A message from the Department of Disaster Management and 284 Media.
Orange alert! Fire is spreading across the BVI. The fastest, most reliable, and affordable fiber internet service is here for you. Look out for fire in these new locations: Slaney, Duff Bottom, Manual Reef, Seacoast Bay, Albion, Hannah's, Palestina, Pleasant Valley, and Havers. Fiber is in your area. Call 444-4444 or visit a CCT store to find out more and bring it home. More locations coming soon.
Thank you for being here with us, and thank you for coming today.
No problem.
How are y'all feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good so far.
So today is just going to be a nice, easy questions about your perspectives on the hurricane season. So I will just ask you some questions on how you feel about it and how it affects you.
Yeah. Right.
The first question is, how does uncertainty of the hurricane season impact your emotion?
Good question. I feel like it does it makes me express a lot of anxiety about it because you really don't know what to expect. Like it could be a category 2 one day and then a category 4 the next. So yeah, it does make me a little anxious.
I feel uncertainty, like a very same thing as she said, anxiety, because you don't know when a hurricane will just come. It could be same thing as Irma, Maria, come again. Yeah, and in the night you know how the wind just blowing very hard. You don't know what's.
Yeah, I can relate to that too. And what steps do you take to prepare for a hurricane?
Food.
Yeah. Food storage, making sure you have like extra batteries for everything, like flashlights, making sure you're stocking up on water.
Make sure you got portable chargers.
Generator.
Yeah.
Yep. In what ways do you think that the community can be a better support with the hurricane season and to help youths to know that they will be safe?
I say like more who are on the head, like the governors and stuff, or whoever else, just come around to the youths, to the churches, make sure they ensure youths, make sure talk to us. Like when you have youths and stuff, just come along.
That's nice. Yeah.
I think just maybe creating like training program to prepare us, and not just prepare us like, oh, these physical things like we said before, stocking up on water, stocking up on food, but also just being able to prepare the young people like mentally, because it is very mentally taxing going through a hurricane.
And we are, youths. We are the new generation, as they say. So how do you get informed about the hurricane that will be approaching? And
I'd say like the random checkups on Facebook and go JTV News, Twitter for media. Yeah.
Yeah, the news, like social media posts, or even people around us, like parents.
yeah, because people assume that we don't, watch the news because we're younger kids. They assume that we, I was on TikTok and YouTube, and we don't stay in tune with the news. But y'all say we all watch news.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to stay informed.
Yeah. You don't gotta check out one all the time, but once in a while.
Once in a while. I love that. So, do you have any experience? And well, you mentioned that Hurricane Irma. So, can you share your perspective on Hurricane Irma?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go first. It was definitely one of the most scariest experiences I've ever had. Yeah, it was definitely very, very scary. In the moment, it was a lot of running on adrenaline. So, how after a hurricane you have aftershocks? That was kind of like how I felt. Like, it was like my feelings didn't come until after the hurricane. Like, it was like more just like a go type of vibe. Yeah, but until it after, I really was able to just be like, wow, like I can't believe that happened.
I remember that day I was just in my room and just boom, hurricane here, like, oh, all right. And you had to, them stories about people going in their bathroom for safety. That was very real. Yeah, the winds were hard. And then you had Maria coming right after almost, so it was like, that stuck up on you.
Yeah, and that came in the night too,
Yeah.
So it was really bad. Like, I remember, my little brother, he was 3 at the time. And it's just really hard to have to be, how old was I? 13? 12? I was 12. To be 12 years old and having to explain to a 3-year-old, what's going on. It was just too much.
Yeah, it would be crazy to be explaining it because it's not even something that a 12-year-old can cope, because it can even traumatize. Because myself, I was kind of traumatized. I didn't sleep for 3 days, and Hurricane Maria came, so I was up staring at the window, wanted to have to run,
Yeah.
It can be very traumatizing. And before we close up, I have some few other questions. How do you cope with the aftermath of a hurricane? Do you meditate? What happens?
I feel what I was doing, you just have, that's when everybody gets together, board games, game nights, whatever. You just cool out, family time, just have fun.
That's a nice way to cope.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely just spending time with family and just making sure that my space around me was a lot more peaceful, just to, mentally zone in.
I can agree, because after, I used to be with my cousins almost every day. We used to be playing games every night. It kind of helped me because, yes, I remember that it happened, but it kind of zoned out in a minute that everything will be fine, So we can, find ways to cope. So I want to let the viewers know that we always find ways to cope, not because we're young. We go through stuff and we feel that type of way,
Yeah.
Right.
So what lessons have you learned from the hurricane? What did it teach you, mentally, physically?
Going through hurricanes, it taught me to always have a plan B.
Yeah.
You can't just say, oh, I'm going to just, for example, board up my windows and what's not, because Hurricane Irma definitely taught us that hurricanes could take away some boards. So just to be able to make sure I have a plan B and plan C, so I have something to resort to if the original plan doesn't go to plan.
And she said, plan B, don't have too much food. Food go bad real fast, especially when you don't have any light or anything. Yeah, just make sure you have your one section of stuff, and remember other section that's plan B if something happens.
And it's a good lesson, because because the more we grow up, the more we realize that we cannot only have one plan. We need to have more than one because life can throw anything at us, but we just have to be ready to able to tackle it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a nice lesson that we learned and you learned from the hurricane. And how do you stay resilient and, hopeful that everything will be okay?
I say that you at least, if you don't actually feel like you're okay with everything, just try to, like, as she said, she has her younger brother. Just you have to make sure that they know that you're okay, so you can make sure that they're okay too. Make sure everybody around you okay, because the weakest link could really mess up everything.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For me, it was talking about it, like just being able to express how I felt about it and just being able to express my emotions about the situation really definitely like helped me be able to manage and know that I could get through it again because I was like, oh, I get over it once, I could do it again.
Yeah.
So we all know that Hurricane Irma destroyed a lot of buildings and it destroyed the Elmo South High School. How did the hurricane affect your education?
Yeah, that's the WebEx and all that stuff. Online school is very, like, just something to remember. History, yeah.
Yeah. I graduated class of 2023 and we were known as the Irma babies because Irma was our first year into high school. So it definitely did weigh on us a lot because, we had to go through half day and not having like a proper school building or school campus. So it definitely did like affect our high school life and it made it really hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same I have feel because it was the year after I was supposed to go to high school and going back to school, it felt weird because so much was destroyed. So it was like, am I really at school or is it just like another place? Because it was just different.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to thank the viewers for watching and I would like to thank you guys for being here. Make sure you stay tuned with 24 Media for more updates.